Is this new Shonen Jump manga the poster boy of Shonen Jump for the next upcoming years?
Yeah, I don't be giving no fucks. I don't know what to call it on. I don't be giving no fuck. I say whatever I want. I do whatever I want.
In this video, I'm going to be talking about Kagurabachi and why all of a sudden this manga has completely blown up over a matter of nights or a couple of days, and why it's regarded as to one of the best manga of all time, even though we've only had one chapter. And basically the premise of the story is that there's a kid that is a swordsmith, and he was an apprentice to his dad, and then all of a sudden a mafia went ahead and killed him. So he's on his revenge arc to go ahead and kill all the people that are using katanas in the wrong way. And he's basically doing a personal vendetta against this mafia that's going around in town killing people with katanas. So why the hell is it getting so much reception? Why is there so much hype around it? Why is it so popular all of a sudden? There's only been one chapter and released like 2 days ago or a day ago, and all of a sudden it's a sensational hit all of a sudden. So I'm going to be going over exactly why I think that's the case. First reason, I think that it's just due to people making it a meme. I think that the reason why it got so popular in the first place is because I think that the main majority of people that caused a lot of traffic and traction to this manga was due to Twitter. I think the main reason is people were just really wanted to get, their 10 seconds of fame. So they started making Kagurabachi memes, and they started, placing it all over the place. There was somebody that made a fan-made anime edits already. There was somebody that made a fan-made OST. So I think that there was really just people just trying to get traction on their Twitter, or get their 10 seconds of fame. But I do think that there is a little bit of truth to that. I do think that it does have potential to go ahead and be a popular anime and be one of the poster boys of Shonen Jump in the future. But it's really early to say that, and I think that they're kind of jumping the gun a little bit just to get some Twitter fame or Twitter attention. So that's why I think that there was so much hype behind it, even though the chapter didn't even release yet. And that's why it became so popular, like all of a sudden. It looked like overnight success. And then the second reason why I think why it was an overnight success is because it was basically picked all of the popular manga artists in Shonen Jump. It was basically the winner to the Tezuka Award, and what that is it was the #1 manga that was picked by Oda, it was picked by Kishimoto, and Akira Toriyama. All of these manga legends were basically saying Kagurabachi is the next one up, and that's what we want to put in Shonen Jump. That gives it a little bit of credibility and popularity just all of a sudden, because they're saying, hey, all of these anime or all of these manga legends are saying, hey, I really like Kagurabachi, so let's put this one in Shonen Jump and give it the best upcoming manga award. And that's kind of what led to its popularity right now. I do think that that's probably what boosted it. That's what got into the limelight. And then the Twitter users just took it off and they started trending with it. But I do think that's one of the bases of why Kagurabachi is so popular, even though it only has one chapter out. And I'm going to be talking about the actual review of the chapter. I do think that it was a good first chapter. There was a lot of action packed. There was color panels with it. It gave you a little bit of backstory, but not too much. And then it let you get into some action. It let you get into it gave you a little teaser of the power system that they're going to be using in this manga. And I do think that it was a good first chapter, but compared to, let's say, Attack on Titan, compared to Chainsaw Man, or compared to Jujutsu Kaisen, I do think it was lacking in the first type of chapter. I do think that there's the story that they were trying to add to the first part of the chapter about his backstory with his dad and being a swordsmith. I do think that it was slightly unnecessary. I do, because they didn't, go all the way into it. So now they kind of just cut to him in the future instead of explaining his dad's death, and they'll probably do that in the upcoming chapters. But I do think that they kind of just skipped a lot of parts to get to the action, and then they're going to cut back to it. But I do think if you're going to talk about backstory, why not just go all in and then maybe add a twist with his dad's death? But they didn't do that, so I was very confused as to why the pacing of the chapter, basically, it just seemed really off to me, and I don't think it deserves a good first chapter award, because people are saying, oh, it's the best first chapter of the manga, it's going to be the next one up, you guys should read it. I do think it has potential. I do think that you should read it. It probably has potential of like a Demon Slayer, I would say, but the first chapter was not up to par against like Chainsaw Man or Jujutsu Kaisen, and it wouldn't really, if this is an anime format, I wouldn't have been crazy hyped to see what was going on. I'd be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And will it survive after all this massive hype and expectations? Will it survive after all this popularity over this overnight success? It's hard to tell. I do think that, you know, the power system that's going on in this manga has kind of a complexity to it. It's kind of feeding off of the Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer type of attributes and complex systems that they have in there. So I do think that it has some lifeline. I do think it can continue and be a popular Shonen Jump manga, but I do think that there's a lot of hype for this, and we're kind of just hyping it up, and then it might just fall flat on their face if we, you know, keep on hyping it up, even though we've only had the first chapter and there's a lot of expectations that are being held already. And there's people saying that their anime is going to be coming out this year. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? There's only one chapter out. How are they going to animate anything? They need to chill out. Kagurabachi probably has potential for the next upcoming years. I don't think, based off chapter 1, we can say that it's going to be a mainstay. You know, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't think after chapter 1 it's going to be a crazy potential manga. I do think it has some potential, but I don't think it's going to be like, you know, a One Piece or something. I do think that a lot of this hyping up is just memes and people just trying to get the manga popular and see what we can do with it. But I do think that it's a lot of hype for no reason. Yeah, that's what I really think about Kagurabachi. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's going to be the next One Piece, the next Jujutsu Kaisen? What do you guys think? Leave me a comment in the comment section below, and leave a like if you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Go.